Hi guys, welcome to the computer forensics class. This is Rajshekhar from St. Peter's Engineering College. In this video, we are going to discuss about the developing standard procedures for the network forensics. We have to develop a few standard procedures to apply the investigations and to apply the procedures to find out the evidences and validate the evidences in the forensics. In these forensics, we have the majority of the roles will play the networking. So the networking issues and the networking will plays a crucial role in the forensics of the data. In the digital forensics, you can work from the image to find the most of the deleted or hidden files and partitions. So network forensics is a long and a tedious process, and unfortunately, the trial of the process will be moving into the very immediate and it shows a very crucial responsibility. So always use a standard installation images for the systems on the network. This image is not a bitstream image, but an image containing of all the standard applications used in that particular process. You should also be aware have to the MD5 and SHA hashing algorithms and the hashing values of all the applications and the OS file will be hidden in that particular digital forensics of the networks. In the networks, you have to restore the drives to understand the attack, and you have to retrieve the information after getting an initial clue to move into the next steps. So you can have to restore all the drives, and you have to go back to the verification process, and you have to retrieve the data which is available on that particular drives. After restoring the data, you have to create a duplication process, and you have to copy all the data which is available on that particular original drive, and you have to make a duplicate copy to verification process of that particular forensics. So the work on an isolated systems will prevent the malwares from attacking of the other systems. When an intrusion incident happens, make sure that the vulnerability has been fixed to prevent other attacks from the taking advantages of the opening. So if a file or a drive is attacked with a virus, so you have to take a day step to open that particular file. Why? Because if you open that particular file or a drive, the data or the virus will be presented in that particular drive will be expand to the overall system, and it will correct the overall procedure, and you lose the data when you open that file. So you have to prevent and you have to take the measure to open that particular file before the opening the file by using the scanners and by using the antivirus preventions. So as to fix of the prevent other attacks from the taking advantages of the opening, attempt to retrieve all the volatile data such as a RAM or running procedures will be done to and leave actions before turning off the system. So you have to retrieve all the volatile data such as a RAMs and the running procedure data will be available. Why? Because the RAMs data is a temporary data. When you restart the system or when you switch off the system, automatically the data presented and the data procedure presented in that particular RAM will be erased. So before restarting or before doing anything, you have to calculate, you have to collect the data which is presented in the volatile procedure, and acquire the compromised drive and make the forensic image of it, and you have to create an image of that particular devices also, and compare the files on the forensic images to the original installation images, and compare the hash values of that particular images. By using the hash values only, the image can be identified whether the data is presented in that particular image or not. So use the hash values to retrieve that particular information, and use the win.exe files and the standard DDL commands, DLL commands or DDL commands, and whether there have been changes, any changes will be applied in that particular places. In the computer forensics, you can work with the image to find the most of the deleted or hidden files and the partitions. So by using an image, you can easily gather the information of the hidden files and the deleted files in that particular drive or device. Sometimes you restore the images to find the most of the deleted or hidden files. So in the network forensics, you have to restore the files in the drives. We have a reviewing the network logs. Why? Because the network logs will play a crucial role in the data collections. So the network log records ingoing and outgoing traffic of the particular servers. Why? Because if a system is connected to a server, that server will collect the data, how many packets are transferring from the one client of the systems to the other client of a system. So each and every packet delivery will be done by use with the server connections only. For example, a router is connected to a server and the LAN wire is connected to the 3 or 4 client systems. So from one client system to the second client system, you can send any data. That sending data will be touch the server router, and it then only it will go to the third priority. That is a client 3 router or client 2 router. So like this, you have to maintain some traffic. That means some data collection will be transferred through the networking process only. Like this, the network log records ingoing and outgoing traffic will be recorded in the network logs with the network servers and the routers and the firewalls. Firewalls will prevent the hackers to hack their particular systems. And some data dump will be also presented in the process. There is a TCP dump and Wiresheet. These are all the two tools for examining the network traffics. You can generate the top 10 lists which can be identified as a patterns from the one to the system to the another system will be moved. Like this, we can review the network logs and you can validate the developing of the standard procedures in the networking forensics. The next one is using the network tools. We have a few tools used in the networks. With these tools, you can easily identify and easily validate the particular data. Those are the sys internals. These are the system internals. This is one of the website, and it is a very useful tools setup. By using these tools only, we can maximum of the data will be formatted or examined by using these tools. As system internals, a collection of the free tools for the examining Windows products. So the majority of the Windows products will be examined by using these internals only. Examples of the internal tools are the Regmon shows the registry data in the real time. Procedure Explorer shows what data is loaded. Handle shows open file and the processes using them. FileMon shows the file system activities. So these are all the examples of the internal tools, and have a few tools available with the PS tool suites created with the system internals. So PS execute runs the process remotely. PS gets it, displays the security identifier. PS kill, it kills the process by name or identity, so it can be easily explore the data. And the PS list, this shows the list details about the process. Next, PS logged on, it shows the who's logged locally and who are the log out locally. And PS password, this is a changes the account's password by using this tool. Next, PS service, it controls the views of the services. Next, PS shutdown, it shutdowns the shutdown and restart of the PCs without your presences. And the PS suspend, it suspends the process if any process or the copying data will be going on. By using this tool, we can suspend the process and we can cancel that process, and it comes out from that particular stage. So this is the using of the network tools. By using these tools, we can easily evaluate the data, and we can easily validate of the data will be done by using the network tools. And by using the packet analyzers also, we can analyze the data by using different models. Like simply, most work on the layer 2 and layer 3 of the OSI model. Those layer 2 and layer 3 are the connected of the networking layer model. So by using these two layers of the OS model will help you to the packet data analyzers or the packet analyzers. Packets comes from the client server to the client to the server communications with a TCP headers or the TCP footers. By using different tools in the packet analyzers also, we can identify the data transferring from the client to the servers. Those are the TCP dump or TET heralds. These are all the few tools used in the packet analyzers. This is the TCP header image. In this TCP header image, we can see that the data transferring process here like this. And these are all the using a packet analyzer tools. This is a TCP slice, TCP prelay, TCP SAT, NG rep, and ether rape, netjude, argus, Wiresheet. These are the few tools used in the packet analyzers. And you can see the Wiresheet tools working process in the image. It captures the interface of the dialog boxes of that particular Wireshark Foundations. Thank you.